Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Long time no see. Thank you for joining today's media availability with Austin FC goalkeeper Brad Stuver. Please be patient with us for the next 30 seconds or so while we work to get you permission to record today's session. And in the meantime, please raise your hand to indicate if you would like to ask a question. We'll get started in about 15 to 20 seconds. Thanks all. All right, everyone should have permission to record now. We'll start with Chris Bills from the Strike of Texas. Chris, go ahead.
Hi, Brad. Josh, talking to Josh last week, he was talking a little bit about like the onboarding of his system and, how, he feels like he's had a chance the last couple of weeks to sort of, reconnect with you guys about, where some of those things have sort of not worked out the way that he had envisioned. From your end, what's that feedback process been like? Has it changed at all in the last month or so? And are you seeing a different sort of gelling of the group? I know the results aren't quite there yet, but we have seen a couple of good performances, and I'm just curious on your take on that side of things with Josh sort of, being a little bit more communicative or asking for more communication.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's from the very beginning, it's been a lot of information for a lot of these guys. This type of system, it's new to a lot of different guys. So there's a lot of information to disseminate throughout the year. And I think for a while, the coaching staff were just kind of giving us the information and giving it in a format where they thought that we could digest it and put it into practice. And I think for the first maybe 8 to 10 games, it kind of looked like we were understanding, we were doing what we needed to do. And then we started tinkering a little bit and adding some more complexity to what we could do. We added another defensive shape. We added playing out of the back with 5. We added all these different pieces. So as we continue to get more complex, the information continued to get more. And so I think over the past couple of weeks, I think we kind of took a step back a little bit. And like Josh has said, he's connected with the guys, and I think guys have been a little bit more vocal. I think at the beginning of the year, we were all still trying to find our voice and still trying to find comfortability talking to the coaching staff and kind of voicing our questions, our concerns. But now I think there's a really good dialogue, and I think you could see in the LA performance that guys really had a strict understanding of what we wanted to do. And it was probably one of our most disciplined performances throughout the year. And I think that's just good two-way communication. It's good on the players for raising their voices to, if they don't understand something, they can ask questions, but it's also good for the coaching staff and Josh to be receptive of that and try and break it down in a different way for different players.
Yeah, and Brad, we've seen you write a couple of things now. The Statesman op-ed and the letter that came out to the fans last week. How much of a part of your life is that, or are you wanting to sort of communicate more with fans in that way? What's your writing background? I'm just kind of curious on your end of that. How much experience you kind of have with that kind of stuff.
Not very much. I was a biology major in college. I think the only writing that I ever did was AP English in high school. That was about it. But no, I mean, normally I would love to show the fans through results what we're doing. Ultimately, that's the goal and that's what we want to do. But the expectations for this club are so high, and the expectations that we have for ourselves are so high that when we're not living up to those expectations and we're not getting results, those words in any format were just a way to just let them know that we see them, we hear them, we're doing our best, and we really do thank them. And I mean, you've heard it a couple times, there have been games where we don't deserve the support that they give us, but I just wanted them to know that from everyone in the locker room, we know that they're going to be there for us every game, and we're working to get things right.
Did you have any editing help? What was the process like to get both of those things through? How much of that was your words and how much of it is a little bit of help?
I mean, like any good writer, you write your first draft, you send it to an editor, they fix your grammar because my grammar was not very good. Then they give you some other ideas. I went back in and rewrote a couple different portions, then they edited it again. So, I mean, it was my words and just edited to make me look smarter, I guess.
Trust me, I know how that goes. Editors make the world go round.
Thanks, Chris. We'll go to Mark Turner. Last word on soccer. Mark?
You sure Ashley didn't edit it for you, Brad?
I mean, Ashley was a journalism major, so I actually did have her look at it. But apparently there are rules for journalism than there are for just writing an English paper. And I don't know those rules, but she knew what they were. So
Excellent. Good to know. Obviously, we've been missing Matt Beasley here now for a number of weeks. It's easy for any fan to see kind of on the surface of it what that means to the team, right? What we miss when Matt isn't there. But from your perspective, between the pipes, specifically, what do you think the team is missing with Matt Beasley on the sidelines?
I mean, Matt is such an experienced player. His veteran leadership on the field is just it's missed a little bit, just because you always knew that no matter what was happening, Bees was always going to be in the right position. He's a smart player, and although he might not be the most athletic or the paciest player, like, you knew that he was going to be in the right spot. You knew that he would read the game extremely well. But he also played almost every game for us up until his injury. So the continuity on the back line was pretty solid there. And then when we have to switch him out, just the chemistry and putting Romagna on the left side with his weaker foot being on the left side, like, it was an adjustment period for him and adjustment period for, like, the back line, just kind of learning each other's differences and learning who's going to cover who at what times. And I mean, all of our center backs have very different defending profiles, and it's just being on the same page as one another.
Let me ask you just kind of a bit of a goofy question, if I may, because the club posted some words I'm looking for from FIFA, some video. That's what I was looking for. Gosh, I need an editor from the new FIFA game. And I wonder, have you ever appeared in a FIFA game before? This must be kind of trippy.
I've had friends that have thrown me in the past couple years, like ever since I was drafted, but my statistics have always been so low that I thought it's not worth ruining their career mode with me in goal. I haven't even looked. I don't even know what the statistics
you
now,
have.
but I honestly don't. So I am awful at FIFA. So I do not play FIFA because I am so bad at it. I am strictly Call of Duty. Like, I'm not FIFA at all. But yeah, so hopefully I'm better and I don't drag people's teams down.
Right, we're going to dig out your stats and send them over to you. Cheers, Brad.
Thanks.
Jorge, go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Hi, Brad. If you're not good on FIFA, you're sending the letters to editors. That worries me. And one of the things my daughter was, just a little pause. My daughter was asking me on Wednesday, we were watching the game together. She's 10. She said, "No, what we're gonna say?" I used to say "stew" every time you get it. So we need to find out what's gonna be there, that kind of replacement. Anyways, I don't want to talk about, probably everybody talk about, the strategies, why you were out and everything. My question is more than your feeling as a player. Do you think 3 games per week is hard for a player? And I wanna mention that Real Salt Lake play on Saturday and then they play on Wednesday with 10 of the 11 starting. For you guys, it's hard to play 3 games. And the second question will be, do you want to play them? Yourself, or you ask them to take a rest? How is that feeling? And we're gonna we're not going to talk about these 3 games specifically.
Yeah, I mean, 3 games in a week is always difficult. I think it's more difficult when it's like a late game Sunday, then Wednesday we go to altitude, and then we play a mid game or a mid-afternoon game Saturday. Just the timing is a little different, and you lose hours there. I mean, it is difficult, but it is part of our job. Like, and all of us, like, you can talk to any one of our players, and we always want to be on the field no matter what. We're competitors. We want to play every game. We don't want to be benched for any reason. There have been times this year where players have gone to the coaching staff and said, hey, like, I am not feeling well enough to contribute to our team right now. And they take that into, it doesn't happen a lot, but it's happened a few times. But then we also have, like, our sports science team. They have a lot of statistics. They have workload, output during games. Then they have the recovery attributes, and they monitor everyone's recovery every day. So, I mean, all of that information piles up, and then it's a discussion between sports science, technical staff, and the player. And ultimately that decision has to be made whether a player plays or not. But I mean, for me, like I said, every player wants to be on the field at all times. Physically, it might not always be possible to play 390s in a week. But that's a decision that's made between the player, the technical staff, and the sports science division.
So you take this, if you have to be on the bench, how do you feel watching your team and being there, but not being there?
Yeah, I mean, every player has to be ready to step up at any time. And I think all of our players this year have deserved to play. But at the end of the day, Josh has to put 11 players out on the field every game that he thinks are going to win the game. It was difficult for me being on the bench. Obviously, I wanted to be on the field, and I expressed that, but I understood where Josh and the staff were coming from when they made that decision. But they knew that I wanted to be on the field. They knew that I wanted to be helping the team get a result. But my role doesn't change. Inside the locker room, my voice is still my voice. Throughout the game, I was able to see things a little bit differently from the sideline, and I was actually able to communicate a little bit more with guys on the field. Like, when a ball went out of play, I was able to call a play over, tell them what I was seeing. In a game, that's a little more difficult when you're 70 yards behind the ball. But I just I took that game and I did whatever I could to help the players on the field and just give them my perspective on things that I was seeing.
Thank you, Brad, and I appreciate your honesty. Thank you. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Mark Turner with one last question before we close today's session. Go ahead, Mark.
Cheers, Ryan. Brad, this weekend I'm bringing my daughter out to watch you guys play. She came out for the Dallas game, loved it so much. She's been nagging me ever since. So we'll be in the stands. In the event that she runs onto the field at the end of the match to try and grab something from you, can she be assured you're going to protect her from security guards?
I'll do my best.
What should she be asking for? Gloves, warm up, water bottle? What do you got for her?
I just gave the towel out last game. Ask for a towel. I feel like those are easily takeable. So.
Okay, good deal. Well, it'll be her or me. So one of us will be running out there. So see you on Saturday.
I'll do my best.
On behalf of Austin FC, we do not condone anyone running onto the field.
Well done, Ryan.
Feel anything from Brad after the final whistle. Thank you all for joining today's session. We appreciate you. We'll send you a recording of today's interview shortly. Thank you, everyone, for your time. And as always, your coverage. Thank you to you too, Brad. Talk soon.